Hey guys, welcome back to another. Excuse me, I can't talk today. Welcome back to another episode of the Brown Señoritas. I am Caro.
I am Desi.
And I'm Stacy.
And for today's episode, we thought it'd be fun to kind of go back into the pop culture. I think 2 episodes ago we talked about music and like music that we grew up with, and then we had the Mother's Day special. So we kind of wanted to bring it back with pop culture, but talk about movies specifically and just like movies that we grew up with, and then just explore that theme.
A trip down
So
memory lane.
Stacy has some fun questions for us, little trivia that she has for us. So
Okay, so when we get movies in Guatemala, they translate like obviously the movie, but they also translate the title. So I'm gonna read you guys some titles.
oh yeah, for anyone that like people that grew up out of the United States, they would translate the movies. Like
They would dub them over, yeah.
I mean,
I hated that.
oh my gosh.
Me too.
I
It's so annoying.
hate it.
Like to see a mouth move and not match the sound drives me crazy.
Right.
Like if we went to the movies and it said doblada, I'm like 100%. I would rather sit outside and wait for you guys to watch the movie.
Literally me.
I would not
But like,
watch
did
it.
you guys already know English at that point?
No. Oh, well, you did.
I did, but even when I was little, like, I don't remember watching them in Spanish. Like, we would always have the subtitles.
And for me, a big part of enjoying a movie was actually hearing the voice of the actor. Because I feel like part of the acting is hearing how they sound.
Right.
Yeah.
Like it's who they are as actors. So in order to really enjoy the acting of the movie, you have to hear what they actually sound like.
Yeah, and then they would always have these translators that were from, like, Spain and said weird Spanish words. And I'm like, nobody says that here in Guatemala. Like,
Or like their
stupid.
tone. It was also so boring
And it was, like,
sometimes.
cheesy sometimes, very textbook words. I was like, okay, no.
This is not it. And well, that's how I learned English, actually. Like, my first, like, sentences was because I was forcing myself to watch those movies in English even though I didn't understand anything. So I just ended up learning. Because I would watch it with subtitles because I couldn't understand.
Yeah, that's still how I roll now.
I am a
I need subtitles.
girly.
Well,
Like, I can't live without them.
I have a hearing problem, so I have to have subtitles because I literally can't hear a thing.
Yeah.
I have ADHD, so I can't focus. So I have to read it for me to, like, also just, like, know
Pay
what's
attention.
going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, and there's, like, words that I'm like, I don't know what that word was. So yeah, I have to have subtitles. I'm getting better, though. Sometimes I don't, and I'm like, that's okay. That's not a big deal. But
Yeah.
if I had the choice, then yes, I would.
That's a whole other experience. Like, not a lot of people, obviously, people that were born in the U.S. know English and only grew up listening or watching their movies. Like, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But even then, this past Christmas, there's some Mexican movies on Netflix that were dubbed in English.
Into English?
Oh.
Yes, that's
See,
a
I
new
can't do
thing.
that.
I think
I
that's
can't do
even
that.
worse.
That's a new thing. I was like, wait, what is going on? Because we were watching it with my husband's family, and they're like, oh, let's watch this movie. And they automatically had it to where just like the normal, like that's how the movie was made. It was made in Spanish, right? But for them to show it in America, it was already dubbed. So we were watching it, and I'm like, what in the world? This is so crazy. In a way, it's kind of cool, though, because like back in the day, that was non-existent.
Right.
You
No.
had to know English, period.
Yeah.
Now it's like, oh, more diverse. Like,
No, I think that...
but it still sucks.
I think I should just watch movies in the original language because that's how I like it. Like Casa de Papel, a lot of people watch Money Heist like the dubbed English, and I'm like, no.
That's what it is. Because I always saw Casa de Papel, Money Heist, and I was like, is that... I always got confused. I've never seen it, so that's why I don't.
You have to watch it.
Understand
It's
it.
way good.
Well,
It's
even
way
like Asian movies, like Japanese, Korean movies.
See,
I'm
those,
watching.
I watch it in English.
Oh really?
Oh, so you
I
know,
still
watch,
watch it in the normal
like
language.
Korean dramas. My cousins watched them a ton, so I watched a few with them, and it had to be in Korean, like with the subtitles, of
For
course.
sure.
But like, I love. I can't stand when the mouth doesn't match.
Yeah.
The only thing with those is it gives me a little bit of a headache if I'm like listening to a language for so long that doesn't make any sense to me. Because English, like, somehow it made a little bit of sense growing up, but Korean, you're just like sitting there for an hour and a half movie and nothing makes sense. You have to keep reading.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say you can't like be on your phone.
No.
Yeah,
Like you actually
Which is
have to
kind
pay
of,
attention.
like, better.
Yeah,
because
for
I'm
sure.
like focused.
Yeah, you're actually watching the movie.
Yeah,
Like,
because I 100% of the time I'm watching on my phone.
yeah.
No, literally, when was the last time you sat there and you watched something you never
Can't
really
remember.
Even at the movies, I do that now.
Okay, see, no.
I do that.
I feel bad. I feel like
It's rude.
people are gonna like be bothered.
Yeah, usually
I do
the
it.
movies I
I'm
watch.
late.
I do it. I pull out my phone. I get so bored. Like, my attention span is the worst.
Have you not watched a movie that's so captivating that you don't? There's some movies that I'm like
for
hooked.
sure.
Yes, not really. But the last show I watched, Queen Charlotte, that just came out on Netflix. That one, there were a couple episodes that I did not look at my phone because I was just crying the whole time.
Is it so good?
Stacy, go watch it.
Literally, I was just talking to Nini about
Did you
this
watch
today.
it?
No.
Oh my gosh, you guys have to watch it.
Is it so
Dude,
good?
It's
Do we
amazing.
Do we have to watch Bridgerton to understand
No,
it?
because I have never seen Bridgerton.
Okay.
Wait, have you guys not seen Bridgerton?
No, but I started.
Bridgerton is
It's
so
so good. I started yesterday.
I've only seen the first season, and I know this sounds so stupid, but I watched it the first time. I was like, "There's no way back in the day there was gonna be a black queen." Not that I didn't want there to be, but like historically accurate. I was like, "This is not right," and so
Yeah.
it turned me off weirdly. But like I've had to get past it. I'm like, this is so stupid.
She
like, it's
is.
just a
She
show.
was black.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Back in the day.
She was black back in the day. And they would paint
Okay,
her
never
as a
mind.
white. They would paint her white. Whenever they would do portraits. So if you see, like, you have to Google it. Like, if you see pictures of her, she looks black because she has all the black features, like the nose, the lips, and everything. But
They paint her
lighter.
Mm-hmm.
And they
I had
even
no idea.
at one on the Queen Charlotte, they even talk about it a little bit because there's a scene where they were painting her and she's sitting there. She's like, "That's not my real color," and the Queen is like, "Well, you need to glow, so we're gonna make you look white."
I had no idea.
She
See,
was
that was
black.
the first thing that turned me off about Bridgerton was like the historically accurate people.
Cara doesn't like to watch black people on
Well,
TV.
it's because if it's
I
like
love,
they romanticize it too much, it's not real.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, back in the day, European times, like, that's just not what you saw.
Yeah, she
And,
was
like,
actually black.
I had no idea.
I know.
apologize.
Now you're gonna be excited to watch
Yeah,
it.
now I'll watch
and also Bridgerton season 2, I liked better than season 1.
Oh, okay.
And it's crazy because season 1, it's like the hottest dude to ever walk the planet.
Mm-hmm.
And then he leaves. Like,
Yeah.
they said, like, he's not going to be in season 2. And I was so devastated. I was like, I'm not watching it. Like, he's not in it. I'm not watching it. So I didn't forever. And then I watched the second season one day. I was like, oh,
Whatever.
I'm going to watch it. So good. It's, like, so emotional.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
But then
It's-
Nene was
it's
saying that a lot of people are saying that Queen Charlotte, is it like a
It's like
third
a
season?
spin-off?
It's a spin-off.
Yeah, they say it's even better than the Bridgertons.
Yeah, it
so
is.
I'm excited.
It's like
It
you
just
guys
keeps
are gonna
getting
have your
better.
heart broken, and it's just like the most like
Okay, like, don't
amazing
spoil
love
anything.
story. I'm not gonna spoil anything.
Because, have you seen Pride and Prejudice?
I love
No.
Pride and Prejudice.
Oh
my sister's
gosh.
obsessed with that movie.
I was
though.
gonna
I'm
say,
obsessed with that movie.
If
I
you've
have to
seen it
watch
and you
it.
love it,
I'm like
And
just
similar
being
to this.
introduced to like
Old stuff.
European
like
style
European,
movies.
yeah.
So it
Like, I'm
takes
like I
Jane
kind of like
Austen.
it, yeah.
some people are like, oh, that stuff bores me. And it drives me nuts because I'm like, that just means you haven't given it a chance because the actual movie itself and the story is so good. And yes, it's not like action packed where things are just like super dramatic. It's a very like subtle story. And you have to like, and this is one of those things that I'm going to be like, if you watch it, you can't have your phone. Like, you just got to focus.
You have
Yeah.
to give it
And it's
an
gotta be
extra
the right
try.
vibe, like a rainy morning,
Yeah.
and you watch Pride and Prejudice,
Yeah.
bruh.
Okay, I need to do that.
Like
That's my
Mr.
sister's favorite
Darcy.
movie.
Where even like the books, like Jane Austen, her style was very like descriptive, long,
And it's very sexual, like very animal, like old days, like
That's Bridgerton.
yeah.
Pride and Prejudice is actually cool because, well, they don't even kiss in the movie. But the amount of like love and
Tension.
emotion you feel, and that's like, yeah.
Yeah, well, Queen Charlotte, there's way too many sex scenes, like crazy.
Okay, I'll
And
watch
so
it now.
so if you think
Got
about
us
it, she was
sold.
actually black. And if you think of the lineage that came after her, like Queen Victoria, everyone has black in them. Think about that. Up until now, everyone has black in their DNA.
Shook.
Yeah.
Atta
She was German.
girl, Queen Charlotte.
So, like, all these, like, hella racist people come from a black queen.
Check yourself.
Full black.
Check yourself.
Check yourself and your family.
I know,
Don't
that,
we
like,
all,
that
don't we
blew
all
my
go
mind.
back to being black?
Yeah,
Like,
right, I
originally,
guess.
Right?
But it's just so crazy to think of, like, the English Empire.
Oh, yeah,
like,
for
you guys
sure.
you have black in you.
That's crazy.
Right? Because the queen we have today, like, it's still the same lineage, right? They all come from the same people.
I have no
Through
idea,
marriage.
but I would think so.
I think so.
There was a lot of incest too.
Yuck.
So like Queen Victoria was Queen Charlotte's granddaughter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay, I'll watch it.
We have to watch Pride and Prejudice.
Okay, let's do it.
Yeah, like we have to like
Keira
Knightley only. Yeah.
The old ones are not bad, but
It's 6 hours though.
man, I think for those like just read the book so you know what's going on.
You'll
but
probably
the
read
Keira
the
Knightley is easier to like.
And it's
know what's going on.
so good. It's so good.
I had a huge crush on Mr. Darcy growing up. Now I look at him and I'm like,
sorry, I still do.
I mean, now I still remember.
He's so sexy. Like
Yeah,
there's
maybe because
something.
I've seen him in other movies and I'm like,
He's
ew,
in that show right now that everybody's talking about. Concussion.
Oh, really?
Succession.
Concussion with Will Smith.
I've seen that one.
So he's in it.
Concussion.
I haven't seen it, but he's in that. Yeah.
We're watching Yellow Jackets right now.
I've heard it's so good.
It is very good.
I want to watch it.
It's
but
like one of those shows that I haven't seen. Like, well, I obviously like watching it. I'm like, hey, this is good. It's not like a stupid cheesy line or very predictable. It's actually very.
Is
good.
it like a group of ladies that gets like stuck in a like airplane accident and then they're in the woods or something like that?
Yeah, but the thing is, like, it goes back and forth. So like so it shows you what happened, like what happened before it was a plane crash, right? And how they survived or whatever. And then it shows them 20 years later. So you are like going back and forth in their lives.
That's a huge jump.
Yeah, and so you see how some things are connected.
I've heard a lot about it, and I do
really
want to watch it.
It's
I just
on
have
Hulu.
a problem with sitting down and watching TV shows.
They are longer episodes, but this one's good.
I can't do it.
I think I picked up my phone one time maybe to check on Natalia. That
Good
was
to
it.
know.
Everything else
So
was
you were
like
hooked.
really good flow. Yeah.
Love that.
So, anyways,
Stacey,
okay. You had some questions for us?
Oh yeah. We could. This is so fun. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna tell you the translation, and you have to guess what movie it is in English. And I hope you've watched some of these.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, so this movie is called. This was translated in Spain to, Sonrisas y Lágrimas, but in Latin America it was translated to, and this is how I knew it growing up, La Novicia Rebelde.
What?
Oh
wait, hold on. So this
In Spain,
like over like in the freaking.
Wait, so this is a movie from Spain?
No. It's in
The Sound of Music.
There you go.
No,
so they
what?
translated.
I knew it. It was in my head.
What was the translation?
So they'll translate.
okay.
They'll have different like translations.
Right. Okay.
So in Spain they translated it to Sonrisas y Lágrimas, and then in Latin America, La Novicia Rebelde.
Sound of Music.
The Sound of Music.
Wow.
It's because she was a young rebel girl.
Yeah, she was the reckless nun. Which Novicia, to me, I didn't know that was nun.
I had no idea either.
Lovisa, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That gives you a whole different
Because
it's about her.
It kind of tells
it's
you
about
like
her.
yeah, which it is.
It is.
Yeah, but Sound of Music is just I guess the focus is different.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right.
It gives you a different look.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. This one is Mi Pobre Angelito. My poor little angel.
My poor little angel.
Mi Pobre Angelito.
Can you give us like
a major?
Do you want me to give you clues?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a Christmas movie.
Is this
The
a Christmas
most
story?
famous Christmas movie.
A Christmas story?
No. It's about...
Home Alone?
Yeah.
Mi
Home
pobre
Alone.
angelito.
Yeah. They left him home alone. Mi pobre angelito.
That's funny.
That's funny.
Mhm.
I don't know what it is in Portuguese.
Huh.
I should look them up too in Portuguese. All right, this one. This one's so weird. La noche de las narices frías.
The Night of the Cold Noses?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so think, what has a cold nose?
A runny nose, a sick kid.
Cold.
Cold.
They touch you with their nose
Frozen?
and it's cold.
Like a reindeer?
Frozen.
Who has dog? Dogs.
Dogs.
Dogs have cold noses, so that's your clue.
Buddy.
It's a movie about a dog. Not a dog, lots of dogs.
Lots of dogs, buddies.
La noche de las narices frías.
And
then there's this evil lady that's so fab.
Dalmatians?
101 Dalmatians.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wait.
That is such a weird name.
Is that the Spain translation? Like the Spanish translation? Or
I
Latin
think it's
American?
just like the... I don't think they all have both of Spain.
In Portuguese, it's a literal translation is Dálmatas senti yo.
Well, yeah, in Mexico it's like...
Siento un dálmatas. But there's that also translation.
La noche de narices frías. That makes no sense. At all.
What the heck?
That's a terrible name.
I mean, what would be the second one? La noche de las narices frías 2? Those?
I don't know, bro.
Dálmatas. Yeah, I grew up here with Dálmatas.
Siento un dálmatas. Yeah, I don't know. All right, this next
who
one.
comes up with these? I could have done a better job.
Honestly, can I be a movie translator? A movie title translator?
That's a cool job, sorry.
Right, no, you're good. Okay, this next one. ¿Qué pasó ayer?
What happened yesterday?
¿Qué pasó ayer?
Those are so hard.
Wait,
to guess.
Yeah.
Okay, think about this movie where they don't know what happened yesterday.
The day before.
Specifically last night. In Vegas. ¿Qué pasó ayer?
¿Qué pasó ayer? What happened?
Literally the whole movie, they're trying to figure out what happened the night before.
The hangover.
Yep, the
hangover.
Yep.
¿Qué pasó ayer?
¿Qué pasó ayer?
That's kind of a cool translation. Because
Yeah.
what would be, like, well, if they directly translated it, hangover? La cruda?
La goma?
La cruda.
Alright.
That's a good name, actually.
Yeah, it's actually, like, ¿Qué
That makes
pasó ayer?
sense,
yeah.
Like, that's okay.
Alright, this one is Papá por siempre.
Father Forever? Papá por siempre.
Is it like a Christmas movie?
Nope, not a Christmas
We
movie.
know
Is
this
it Disney?
movie?
It's not Disney.
Popular?
It's got one of the most famous actors that has ever
Brad
lived.
Pitt? Leonardo DiCaprio?
More like
Papá
actor
por
than that.
siempre.
It's funny. I just saw a meme on it. I'll read you the meme. The meme is funny.
Okay. The Godfather?
No.
Al Pacino?
Papá por siempre.
Papá por siempre.
Father Forever? Dad Forever?
Alright, I'll read you this meme. It's funny.
Okay.
It's hold on. I just posted it.
What?
Just found out that older British woman who's been like, hold on, let me say that again. Just found out the older British woman who's been looking after my children is actually my ex-husband in costume.
Oh, yes, I saw that. Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yes.
I don't know that movie.
You've never seen it? Oh,
It's Robin
amazing.
Williams, and they get a divorce.
Spoiler
Oh,
alert.
yes.
And so then he like calls and he's like,
Yeah.
I'll be your babysitter. And then she's like, what's your name? And he saw that newspaper and it said like Doubtfire or something. He's like,
Yeah,
Mrs. Doubtfire.
In Portuguese, it's something vovó, which vovó is like grandma, so they actually call her like grandma in the title.
Oh, cool. I don't know what I guess now Spanish is, what is it? Papá
por siempre.
Papá por
That's
siempre.
a weird name for that movie. Could have been better.
He'll
La
be their
Nani.
dad forever.
Yeah.
All right, this one is La Jungla de Cristal.
These are
Crystal
so
Jungle?
Has nothing to do with it.
Jungla? What's jungla?
Jungle.
Yeah.
La
Jungla.
La Jungla de Cristal.
We know this
Is it
movie.
a cartoon?
Give us clues.
Action movie.
Action movie. Was it made in 90s, 80s?
I'd say 90s.
Okay.
It's low-key a Christmas movie too. Kind of, weirdly enough.
Okay. La Jungla de Cristal?
Yep.
Jungla. Okay, jungle.
It has nothing to do with Cristal and nothing to do with Jungle.
Oh. I don't
It's
know.
Die Hard.
La Jungla de Cristal.
It's Die Hard.
La Jungla de Cristal is Die Hard. Have you seen Die Hard? I started watching them because I wanted to get into these like classic 80s movies. It's with Bruce Willis.
Is it 80s?
It's like late 80s, early 90s.
Okay.
Wow, that's so random.
La Jungla. You couldn't say like Muerte Fuerte or something? That's a cool one.
Yeah?
Muerte Fuerte.
Yeah, I guess. All right, this next one. Super Fumados.
Super
Fumados.
And it's like a weed movie, marijuana.
Yeah. Probably one of the most famous weed movies.
Huh. Super Fumados? Is it like newer-ish or old?
I watched it in high school first time, so...
Oh, is it 21 Jump Street?
Nope.
Oh.
And
I
am useless in this game.
It's probably it's the name of probably one of the most famous weed strains ever. Fruit.
Fruit?
Think of a fruit.
Strawberries? Kiwi?
Yellow fruit.
Banana, mango, Pineapple Express.
There you go.
Oh.
There you go.
Super fumados.
Pineapple Express. Okay, this one. All right, we'll end it on this one because this is a good one.
Okay.
Vaselina.
Oh. Grease.
Good job.
No way they
Vaselina.
call that name Vaselina.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, that movie. There's no way.
Yep. I grew up with that, hearing that.
Oh,
Vaselina?
Yeah.
Why? That's the most random thing in
Well,
the
I
world.
grew up hearing Grease, but everyone, like my mom would call it Vaselina.
Okay, but what does grease mean?
Grease? Like
I
a
know what it means, but like, why did they put that name on the movie?
Oh, because they're greasers. Because they like slick their hair back with grease. That's how they paint. That's how they
okay,
do
but
their
why
hair.
Vaselinas? Is that, do you call guys that do that?
No, Vaselina is like a oily substance.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing
Did they
that's
put
why.
Vaselina in their hair?
I'm sure maybe
I don't
the
think that
ingredients
goes
are the
on hair.
same.
I don't think Vaselina goes in your hair, but I...
Was Vaseline back in the day kind of like
okay,
Grease?
but they technically didn't put grease in their hair.
They did?
They put
I
like
have no idea.
oil.
Yeah. But it was
Honestly-
like really oily. That was the look.
Right.
That's what you
But-
call them, greasers.
Right. So I don't know.
I have no
I
idea.
don't know.
That is the worst name. They could have come up with a better name.
I still think the Dalmatians one's the worst.
La noche
Yes,
la
it's pretty yes.
What is that? It's
Oh,
not even like...
gosh.
There's not even a scene where they're outside freezing, are they? Is there?
Yeah, the
Yeah,
dogs
they-
are outside.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Ursula.
You
but
haven't watched it, have you? But speaking of that movie, did you watch the new remake of Cruella de Vil with Emma Stone?
No.
Yes.
So I
haven't.
don't love remakes right now because I think they're usually kind of cheesy. I was shook at how good that movie was. Like, I watched it and I was...
You're like, is this Disney?
I'm watching it again.
And on Disney Plus?
It's on Disney Plus.
What's it called? Cruella?
Probably.
Yeah, Cruella. I think it's called Cruella.
It's so good.
Okay,
It's
I'm just
so
gonna
good.
cool.
write down on my phone,
Yeah.
but I need to watch freaking Cruella and Pride and what?
Pride and Prejudice. Orgullo y Prejuicio.
Orgullo y Prejuicio. What's Sense and Sensibility? I don't think I even know the Spanish.
Yeah, I don't think
for
I know.
that.
Yellow Jackets is what you're watching?
Oh yeah, Yellow Jackets.
Or is it?
Jackets.
Freaking...
Have you seen Desi? I'm asking you this
What?
because Caro just told me she hasn't. The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants?
Of course!
Caro hasn't seen it.
That's how I fell in love with Blake Lively.
That's how I fell in love with Blake Lively.
Oh, that's why everyone's been
In love with Blake
loving.
Lively.
I
That
thought-
and like Gossip Girl.
Yeah, I was gonna say that and Gossip Girl, which I've never seen either of them.
You know what's so funny? I got the Gossip Girl book from the library because I was like, I'm gonna read the book.
I did not know they had a book.
I didn't either, but I got them. And of course, I'm like reading it, hooked, right? So fun, like just New York teenagers that have like everything cool in the world. My mom grabs the book, opens it to the one page that talks about like drugs, sex, and alcohol on one page, and she's like, "You're not reading this," and I was like. It was the one page.
But it's Gossip Girl. It is.
But what's funny is
it is a interesting show.
Yeah. Well, I've never really seen the show actually.
What?
I know. I'm telling you, I have a weird thing with
Same.
TV shows.
You guys, you have to watch Gossip Girl. Okay, well, never mind, because I was gonna say whenever we go to New York, I want to do a Gossip Girl tour, but I guess we're not
Well, I'll watch it to go to New York. It's okay.
because they have like really famous spots in the show, and I just want to see
See,
it.
I think for me, like, because I grew up with novellas, and I was hooked on them, like, very young, and I would watch them every night with my mom, and I just hate, like, first of all, just sitting down and watching novellas. Obviously, like, novellas were good, right?
And
like,
they're so
movie.
dramatic. They really know how to hook
Right,
you.
but it's almost like now that I, like, Gossip Girl, I'm like, oh, crap, I have to, like, sit down, put my time to, like, watch this, and it's, like, so tedious to me now.
Yeah.
So, like, I do, like, shorter, like, quicker...
Episodes, yeah.
Well, just
I
shows.
love shows that are 8 episodes.
Yeah, 6 to 8 episodes, perfect. Even if they're an hour each, I'll watch those.
Unless it's like Bridgerton, where you need like a really long storyline.
That's
Sure.
still just like 8 episodes.
Well, a season?
Yeah.
But
But they're an hour long. It's like watching a movie.
Yeah, that's true. Speaking of novelas, I wasn't allowed to watch them growing up. It was so
Same.
sad. My
Really?
mom never let me. No.
Me neither.
So
But I did
went-
anyway.
Oh, of course we did. But,
one? Did you
We
guys
always
watch?
got around.
I can't remember.
You guys would know. Brazil is like... Novellas in Brazil are so good. And they're like so popular and all throughout Europe. Like they translate it. Like so good. So good. But you guys will never know.
I'm guessing you guys had Betty La Fea, though. Ugly Betty.
We did.
Right?
We had some Mexican novelas, for sure.
I was going to say, Ugly Betty, I feel it's like international.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
everyone knows.
Everyone has their own
Betty La Fea. Pobrecita, I always felt so bad for her because she wasn't that ugly. They made her so ugly.
Isn't it America Ferrera?
Yeah. Well, she's the American version, and then the Mexico version. I don't know her name, but it's like Valeria something.
Betty La Fea. Pobrecita.
But dude, even like the ugly standards back then, it's like normal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And obviously they would exaggerate with like, adding her facial hair or something, but like this was a normal looking chick. Yeah, I was like, oh, I don't want to look like that. And then obviously like the pretty girl had like the big fake boobs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I grew up with Betty La Fea, Ruby. That one was an intense one. Mm-hmm. There were some episodes that my parents wouldn't let me watch, but I'm like, why did you even let me watch this when I was 8 years old? And then Amor Real, that was a big one. That one won like awards and stuff because it was such a good novela.
Dang, it's crazy because our worlds are so different when it comes to novelas. Because Brazil is so like Brazilian novelas, and then Mexico is like Mexican novelas. It's like so different. It's still just as dramatic, right? Like the storylines are so similar. It's the same thing, but it's different stories. You guys would not know the ones that I
did. You guys have like Guatemalan novelas? No. You guys would watch from like different countries.
Usually Mexican.
Well, the Mexicans were closest.
And then they also have like Colombian ones. My mom said that they used to have Venezolana ones like before, but no, I wouldn't. And I also like, I would watch them, but not like the whole thing, like because I wasn't allowed. So I would run to my cousin's house that lived a few houses down, and we'd go in her room and we'd watch them. But it wasn't like an every single day thing.
Yeah, because every week there was a new episode, so you had to keep up. For me, El Chavo.
Oh yeah.
El Chavo del Ocho?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Classic.
Was huge in Brazil.
Really?
Did they translate it to Portuguese?
They did. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's so cool. Yeah, that's classic.
But Brazilians, like, the novella was so big in Brazil. They went to Brazil. They did, like, tours, like...
Is that considered a novella?
I don't know. It's like a show.
I wouldn't call it novella, but yeah, it's just
it's like a show.
Yeah.
Show de televisión.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Sitcom?
That one was good.
Would that be called sitcom?
Yeah.
Sitcom?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that one's a classic. Didn't he just died this year?
Yeah, I think we saw that.
He just passed away. Chabelo.
Yes, something like that. I don't know.
Chabelo's the same dude.
Actually, I don't know. No, I don't know. You're doubting yourself, so I'm doubting myself.
Chabelo? No, Chabelo's not the same. Chabelo died, but the Chavo del Ocho is a different actor.
Yeah, okay. We don't know what we're talking about.
Don't cancel me.
I just always thought that show was so weird, but I liked watching it because like nothing made sense.
What other shows did you guys grow up watching, like when you were little?
There's a novela that I watched with Belinda when I was little. I think the name of it in Spanish, correct me if I'm wrong, is called Cómplices de un Rescate, algo así. Yeah.
No.
She had like a twin sister, and they got separated at birth. One was like super poor, and the other one.
It's called Sister. I'm just kidding.
I mean, that story repeats itself everywhere. There's so many movies, but
or like The Parent Trap.
Yeah, with Belinda, like, one sister was really poor, and then the other one got adopted to a really rich family, and she ended up becoming a pop star in Mexico.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Okay, there's one called. I saw it.
Is that one?
The
Cómplices al Rescate.
Cómplices al Rescate.
Oh my gosh.
I think I did.
I was obsessed.
No.
Did you watch this one? Sure.
Maybe. Cómplices al Rescate.
I was obsessed with the outfits, with the hair. Everything was everything to me.
Dang.
Me and my sister would watch that so much.
Did. Was Belinda ever in Rebelde? Did she ever do like a cameo or like a?
I don't know.
You would know.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wasn't allowed to watch Rebelde. I was obsessed with everything else.
You weren't allowed to watch Rebelde, but you're obsessed with it now, huh?
Yeah. Well, I was obsessed with it at the time because of the music.
Oh.
But not because of the show. Like, I was never allowed to watch it. Here and there, I would, like, sneak out and, like, watch it. Because my dad worked a lot, so he was not home a lot. So I, like, did watch some episodes, but it was more, like, the music videos, you know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think I saw... Oh, man. I don't... Amigos por Siempre. I think I saw that one.
Oh, yes! Amigos para Siempre. Yeah. I did watch that one.
Yeah, but I mean, again, I moved to the U.S. 2004. So I only grew up with a little bit of Belinda and then it was like Cheetah Girls, and then she showed up on Cheetah Girls, and I was like, oh my gosh.
She was
my world
so
just
famous.
Combined.
Yeah, she was so famous in such a young age. Like, everybody knows who Belinda is.
Right.
Yeah.
And so she's not like a superstar, but everybody knows who she is.
Yeah. But like, yeah, so I grew up with her a little bit, but like I mostly, again, I just, for some reason, my mom just wanted us to know English. I grew up with a lot of American TV. So I grew up on Friends.
I also grew up on Friends.
Mm-hmm.
That was probably Friends, and
it started the year I was born.
Oh my god.
Yeah, literally.
1994.
Yeah.
I was 93. So yeah, we grew up with Friends. And then I guess just Disney Channel in English.
Same. That was me too. I didn't.
And Nickelodeon, like iCarly, stuff like that. Did you watch that?
That was actually later. Like I think that's
later.
when I stopped.
Well, I guess you were in
15-ish.
Brazil with iCarly.
iCarly
So we
was
were
huge.
here.
Yeah, so like I think we grew up with like That's So Raven, Lizzie McGuire, Zoe 101,
Yeah.
The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody, Even
Loved it.
Steven, Sister,
Phil of the Future.
Phil of the Future. I
That
think
one was
That
Such a
was
good one.
always weird to me.
it was so weird. It gave me a weird like.
I loved it.
but it was
Tense,
good.
like,
I was like,
yeah.
comfy.
Yes.
But it was,
And when you just think they're so dumb, like they're so dumb, nobody thinks things through. But you
right,
yeah.
right.
Or like,
But
what's
That's
the...
So Raven was like my god.
Oh, dude.
Like Raven was my
to
god.
this day, I'm still like, I watched That's So Raven episodes. I'm like, that's why, I don't know, maybe growing up, that like how she expresses things, that's how I express them now.
Like, because you caught on her.
Like, I caught on that
it's-
little attitude of how she does her expressions,
Oh, yeah.
her eyebrows,
You're
everything. Oh.
And her hair, her outfits.
The
To
makeup.
this day, I'm like, I wish I could
Want to be her.
Yeah.
I started doing makeup because of Raven. I started practicing makeup every day after school.
Wow.
When I was like 12 years old because of Raven.
Yeah.
She
I
made
loved her
such a
makeup.
huge impact in our lives.
Oh,
She really
forever.
Well, and then did you watch Courting in the House
Yeah.
after?
Yeah.
No, see, I knew of it, and I just like
It wasn't as
into
good,
and
It wasn't as
obviously.
good, but it was good.
It had its moments.
It had its moments, for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, Disney Channel, that was huge.
Hannah Montana.
Yeah, Hannah Montana.
I remember the first, like, they were announcing on Disney Channel in Brazil, like, Hannah Montana, like, for weeks. And then, like, I knew exactly the day it was going to come out, what time. My entire, like, me and my siblings, we just sat down and we waited. And we watched the show. And I was like, from this day on, I want to be a singer. Like, it just, like, decided my career for me. I loved Hannah Montana. It was everything to me.
Dude, they just knew how to, like, hook
Hook us.
They just, that
That was like the last of it, though. I feel like Hannah Montana was probably the last show I
that
watched.
hooked.
And I like kind of stopped watching it because
yeah,
like
Disney got weird.
it got
after
weird.
that.
But like yeah, because after that was like iCarly and like Selena Gomez. What was the show she was in?
Oh, Wizards of Waverly.
I did watch that one.
Those things I never watched. I stopped.
I did watch Wizards here and there. But yeah, then Disney. I mean, we just
you guys-
grew out of it.
we got old. I got old. Yeah. Do you remember like Disney Channel original movies?
Oh, of course. Zoe,
Yeah, there's a few I like can
the
remember.
Space Girl. Zoom, zoom, zoom.
Oh my gosh.
Zoe from.
I loved.
And Raven was in the movie.
She was. And she was so young.
She's this girl from space. They
Yes.
live in the space station.
I love
in
that
the year
movie.
2000
Yes.
something.
2023.
I love that movie so
It was like
much.
2020 or
Something
something.
crazy.
Oh,
Oh
that's
my
so
gosh.
I know what you're talking about. I can't remember.
No, I have to pull it up for you. That movie, like, you have to watch it again.
I love that song.
I actually just watched that movie like a year ago. Because I was like, wait, I missed that.
That one in Smart House was really cool.
Smart House was crazy.
For some reason, me and my sisters and my whole family.
Xenon.
Girl of the 21st century.
1999.
This
dude.
girl, I'm a Raven right here.
Oh my god.
This
Gosh.
movie
Should
was
we dress up
so
as them
good.
for Halloween?
Oh my gosh, we
Yes.
should.
We should have a Disney Channel original
Xenon
movie
girls.
party where you all just dress up as.
But we already want to do Cheetah Girls. That's the thing.
Oh, yeah.
We have Halloweens for the rest of our
Too
lives.
many ideas.
We can't stop.
Let's see. I can try to think of what other ones I saw.
Did you guys watch Sabrina?
The witch.
Dude,
Yeah,
I used
the
to
witch.
watch the cartoon version, and they had
Yes.
I don't know if it was a movie or like a special episode on like how Sabrina goes to like which school. I was obsessed with it.
Yeah.
Maybe that's how that and Harry Potter, growing up with Harry
It was
Potter.
like kind of like the same vibe.
That's why I'm like so into like witches and like the occult. I just
Sabrina was
love all that
everything.
stuff. I never watched like the real life one.
See,
I watched here and there.
I watched the real life one. I didn't like cartoons. I did not like things that were animated.
Really?
Like, it had to be actors or nothing.
Dude.
Phineas and Ferb?
No.
I didn't watch Phineas and Ferb.
I know it. I know the show, but I don't
Samurai
like it.
Jack on Cartoon Network.
I don't know what that is.
we weren't allowed to watch Cartoon
Samurai
Network.
Jack.
It's like a
No way!
cartoon.
It was kind of dark, honestly.
It was
Wait,
for
what,
sure the
what
darker
were you watch?
Cartoon Network. We weren't allowed to watch anything from that because it was... Honestly, this is so funny.
Powerpuff Girls?
No.
What?
I know them, of course, but I don't like cartoons. So this is what the situation was.
Okay, tell us.
I did not want to watch cartoons ever. I hated them. I was like, I want to watch teenagers acting. That's
Okay.
what I wanted to watch.
Okay.
I get that. I get that.
So when my brothers
so
would
funny to
put
me.
Cartoon Network and watch like stupid cartoons, I'd always be like, Mom, they're watching Cartoon Network. And like she'd make them turn it off, and then we'd put something I wanted to watch. So that was really what
That's
like.
funny.
It's not
It
that
was
we
like
weren't
a little
allowed. I don't think my
manipulation.
mom really cared.
Right.
But I was like, you
made it
can't
bad.
watch that. Mom said it's bad. Turn it off. Put something else on. Lizzie McGuire. Hell yeah, bro. Let's go.
Let's go,
So
Lizzie.
that was. It's not that she really cared. I don't think.
Right.
I know,
Like
but
they had that show like Ed, Ed and Eddie that my mom was like,
Oh.
ew, that's gross.
Oh my gosh,
And so
I
because
that one
of
was
that,
love that show.
but yeah, because of that, I was like, oh, perfect.
Dude,
Like,
there were, or the coward dog. The cat
Yes,
dog.
that
dog.
was some weird
No,
shit.
well, cat dog was disgusting.
Ew.
Yes.
But the cowardly dog, the one
Oh.
that would like see.
The purple dog.
Yeah.
Yes.
Freaking scared
With
me.
the grandma.
Yeah. Now I look at the shows, I'm like, that's not that bad. But obviously, when I was little, I was like,
But
this is a
so
scary
scary.
cartoon.
Cowardly Dog was so scary. I mean, they will only play that at like 9 p.m. It was supposed to give you the vibe of scary. You know how you say Ed, what is it?
Ed, Ed and Eddie.
In Portuguese?
What?
That was so funny. Do, e, do.
Wait, dude.
What? Say that again. Du-du-du-du-du.
Literally. Wait, in Spanish, was it Ed and an Eddie?
I don't remember. Du-du-du-du-du-du.
Hey, let's go. Do,
Do?
do,
Do-do?
yeah, do.
Yeah,
do.
But because-
Do, edu.
But Edu is the short
Edu.
version for Eduardo.
Oh, edu. Yeah.
And do, so just a bunch of Eddies. Do, yeah, do.
That is funny. Hey, it's kind of clever.
It is
The way
clever.
to name a cartoon
Yeah.
because it can translate to other languages.
It's
Do,
clever.
do.
Oh my gosh, Cowardly Dog. Oh, I hated that show. I never liked it.
I mean, yeah, and again, all of those were in Spanish too. You had to pay extra to have English.
Okay, that was the thing. I do remember watching cartoons in Spanish, and that was like
Okay.
fine. But also, I don't remember a ton of things before I like learned English because I was so little.
Right.
But like SpongeBob, we watched that in Spanish. Bob
See,
Esponja.
that's one show I did not like.
Same.
SpongeBob.
I didn't grow up with SpongeBob
I was.
because my mom said like caricaturas feas.
You know what's so funny? Think about SpongeBob.
Yeah,
Where does SpongeBob live?
under the sea,
In
a pineapple.
Bikini Bottom.
Oh yeah.
We got Sandy Cheeks
Oh yeah.
in Bikini Bottom.
Right.
We have Mr. Krabs.
Yeah, dude.
Crabs in Bikini Bottom. You know what crabs are?
You know, there's like a tiny.
It's like the STD where you get little crabs coming out your
Oh
coochie.
my gosh!
Wait,
Bikini-
did crabs actually come out of you?
It's like little bugs, and they call it
Dude, a
crabs.
crab bit
yeah.
me in Miami. Anyway.
In your vagina.
No, it hurt in my armpit.
Oh. But isn't that so funny? I didn't ever think about it
Yeah,
until
it's
like
kinda like
later in life. I was
low-key
like, Bikini Bottom, Sandy
dirty.
Cheeks. I was like, you sick
No,
of
literally, like, if we were to go back and, like, actually pay attention, we would be
There's
freaked out.
so many like little things in children's movies, like in Shrek. There's a scene. I was talking to my mom about this. Farquaad's in bed looking at a picture of Fiona. His blanket goes.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gross.
See,
Yeah.
that makes me think of,
And he's like, oh. I'm
oh
like,
my gosh!
But it's
Farquaad.
like so subtle.
So subtle. Like someone has to tell you because
Yeah, see,
you
I never, like, that, if we get started on this subject, we'll never stop. But, like, I never understood why be super subtle about sexual stuff on children's cartoon. Because it's like...
I think it's just funny. Like, whoever came up with it was like,
because
it'd be funny if we did that.
But we don't get it. Like, the kids are not really catching on. But is it somehow brainwashing us?
Right.
Because, like, so there's this, like, really old show with, like, some little birds. And, yeah, Sierra used to, my ex-boyfriend, he used to watch that a lot with his siblings. And there was one time that he was like, I want to show you this movie. So we watched it together because it was his favorite movie when he was little. And we watched it again years later in our 20s. And it's the most sexual movie. Like, there's a scene where the birds are like, girls, 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 with, like, just drooling, like, just really, like, sexual, very, like...
But what do you mean by brainwashing us?
Well, I want to understand what is the reason behind it, because he grew up watching that movie, never paid attention to it, but somehow, did that get in little boys' heads? Just, like, seeing
I know,
those...
like, programming.
Like, almost, like...
I don't know about shows that are, like, overly sexual. I don't know about that, but, like, things like the Shrek scene, like, the Farquaad scene, like, I think that's just funny. I think someone was like, it'd be funny. Like,
I mean, Shrek
because adults are making these movies.
Yeah, I was gonna say Shrek
is more for adults.
So I think if it's like tiny little things, it's not. But I don't know.
I know Disney.
Because watching that movie made me feel like this is brainwash. It's teaching young boys to look at girls as objects.
Right.
And me and him, we were watching. We were like, wait, what? This is bad.
I know Disney. I like the early Disney movies, like Lion King, Little Mermaid. So, I could be completely
off. It says sex in the stars or something.
Yes, and there's
I'm like, okay, it doesn't actually have to
No,
be
but
that.
the reason behind it is because their writers or the people drawing the movies were on strike because they weren't getting paid. So that was a way for them to protest, was just like the subtle sexual hints in the movies. And the original, like, picture of the Little Mermaid poster, the background was the castle under the sea, and one of the castle
is a penis.
Buildings was a penis.
That's right.
And now obviously they've edited it, but it was like the original Disney movies that were going on at that time or that were coming out at that time is because the writers were on strike.
Wow. Okay. See, I like that better than actually trying to manipulate a little children.
Right.
I don't know about how it is now, right? And maybe everyone can have their opinions about it. But yeah, I think there's definitely like, and not even like maybe negatively, but to me it was always like the prince was a blue-eyed dude with, you know, not gold hair, but like he was a white dude. And like all the hot princes in Disney movies were white. There was never a brown one.
Yeah.
So maybe since you're little, like, oh, white guys are cuter, you know, because you just didn't have that representation.
Yeah, that totally happened.
Which I'm glad we have that representation now.
Took forever.
Right? When Naveen came out in Princess and the Frog, I was obsessed with him. I was drooling over this cartoon because I'm like, he is so hot. But that's just because that was the first time I saw like a brown prince.
We talked about this, I think, for the Halloween episode or something like that. I can't even remember, but we talked about how like it's like growing up with all these like white blonde princesses, we could never be anybody.
Oh yeah.
Like when we were dressing up, it was
like
like
Pocahontas.
And even then, she's Native American. Like that's not even like. I guess we are technically also Native American, but it wasn't like the only princess who's not even a princess I could ever be was Esmeralda.
Oh yeah,
and that was it. You know, so
you do look like her.
Thanks. I want to be a gypsy one day, but I learned later in life that gypsies are kind of like discriminated.
Yeah.
See, I thought gypsies were cool as hell.
Yeah.
I was like the ones that are playing the music and just being like free spirits. I was like,
his name?
I was trying to be that, and then people are like, no, we gypsies are
like homeless.
No. Right.
I have that.
I was like, well, I'll be homeless in France. It's fine.
Hitler was out for gypsies too.
Yeah.
Like big time.
Yeah.
He thought they were the
Yeah. Sad.
I remember growing up on TLC, there was like a gypsy wedding show. Oh. Do you guys ever remember seeing those?
Yeah, and they were
kind of cool.
Yeah, the TLC gypsy show. I like have this memory engraved in me that it was like they would throw parties and it's like they would always have cake, but they would never eat it. They would just throw it at each other.
Oh, that's
so
funny.
they would cut cake and like just
I just remember the big
fight.
poofy dresses
And the big
I do not know what that is.
Right.
Yeah, TLC.
You know what always like I thought it is too sexual in Powerpuff Girls, that like red woman that you know what I'm talking about?
Dude,
there are so many
she would like
women
walk with those like funky heels and like the tightest
It was
little
always
skirt
the big boobs.
and the big boobs, and they never show her face.
Or the dads, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that. The professor.
No, you can see the dads. But she was like the...
But yeah, no, it's crazy how they like over-sexualize a lot of female cartoon characters. Mm-hmm. Like they give them the like tiny waist, big old booty, you know. Interesting. And
Did
boys
you guys
are
watch Kenan and Kel?
Yeah, I watched Kenan and Kel.
No.
No?
I know what you're talking about. I grew up with Boy
like,
Meets World too.
Oh, I love Boy Meets World. Topanga's style is everything I want to be. I love Topanga.
See, and that's how I always perceived like American neighborhoods, American
Full
schools.
House.
I never watched Full House.
I love
Full House.
I didn't grow up on that, but a lot of that just influenced my view on America and the United States. So when my parents were like, "Oh, we're moving to the U.S.," I was like, "Oh, heck yeah! Like cool. I'm gonna live in those neighborhoods."
Mr. Feeney's gonna be my neighbor.
Basically, and like very cookie cutter you would call it. But then when we moved here, it's so like, different. Oh my gosh, this is not. And I still remember the smells when I first moved here, and I'm oh my gosh, like I'm in America, and this is an American school, and I don't know. So I had a lot of like even like in the Parent Trap, right? Like the whole Oreo and peanut butter. Yep. I was like, I can't wait to move to America.
Every time we talk about Oreo and peanut butter, I want to eat it.
Oh, it's so good.
They have Oreo peanut butter filled at the store.
Yeah, it's just not the same.
It's not the same. No. Really
well, at that time, I don't think we had Oreos in Mexico. I want to say it was weird because I was like, I grew up watching that, and I'm like, I can't wait to move or like to go to the U.S. and try peanut butter with Oreos.
I think we did because we had,
or maybe my parents were just not buying it for us.
Probably.
Something.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh no, I was just gonna say I remember we had Chips Ahoy. Oh yeah. So if we had Chips Ahoy, we for sure had Oreos.
Yeah. I don't probably.
We just got Oreos in Brazil pretty recently because we had our own version of Oreos.
Oh,
that's crazy.
What's like a show that you watched when you were little that you craved the food of the show that's like not real? Because for me it was Teletubbies.
Oh yeah.
That freaking like strawberry cream that they would put on that plate. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I do remember Teletubby food.
Gosh, Teletubbies food was the best. I have to show you. We should put that on our post.
Okay.
Do you remember the Proud Family?
Yeah.
Do you remember their grandma's? What was her name? Sugar Mama?
Yeah.
Sugar Mama's Get Up and Go bars?
No.
Do you remember that episode? Where she like makes these like breakfast bars and everybody's like obsessed with them. It like take over the world. And then they put her on like a talk show and they're like, how do you make them so good? Yeah. And homegirl literally has the bowl of them, just puts her foot in it, and everybody's like, what? So funny.
Dude, look at the Teletubbies food. This freaking cream, I don't know what that was.
Oh, that's funny.
That does not look good, Desi.
No, but I mean, they made it look good. Look how scary they look.
Yeah, no, I never watched Teletubbies. My dad was like, that's weird, don't watch that.
I love Teletubbies.
That's weird. No, I loved it too.
We watched Barney. We were a Barney family.
I think Barney food was like, I want to eat that pizza that they just made. There was this one episode that had like a pizza party. Barney in Spanish was kind of scary too.
I never watched Barney in Spanish.
Hola,
I mean in Portuguese.
You know what TV food I always craved? Matilda chocolate cake.
Oh, that's a classic.
I was like, I want to be bullied into eating that cake. I want to be that chubby boy.
Is that ever gonna happen to me?
Like, somebody make me eat the cake. Because I will.
Oh my gosh, when I was little, we tried to like remake the cake so many times.
Oh, you know which one's mine? The cake from Sleeping Beauty? The like super tall cake that the fairy godmothers would make. I wanted that cake.
That cake, I want to see it.
That cake, and also we grew up with some anime. So like anime food, like food that they would put on Japanese shows. Mm-hmm. I watched Sakura Card Captor growing up, and it's weirdly enough like no one has ever heard of that, but it was all over Cartoon Network, and it was very popular in Mexico. But yeah, like the food that she would make in that show was
this cake
looked good. Yeah, dude.
Oh, jeez.
I always wanted to taste the blue frosting. I
just want to bite.
I'm dead. Phil of the Future, they had these cans that they would just spray, and then like brownies would come out. I was always like, dang, I don't want that
burger from Spy Kids.
I was just gonna say that freaking microwave that gets you anything you like. Oh my god.
I want to be Spy Kids.
No, honestly, My dream was to have a microwave. I can just be like, burger, and it would come out.
Yeah.
One last
Pasta.
one. The cake from Harry Potter. I think the second one, when Dobby comes, and
The pink.
it's like the pink greenish one. Dobby like puts an enchantment on it, so it's like levitating, and it falls on that dude's head.
Oh yes.
And it looked just yummy because I'm like, oh, is it made out of ice cream? Like,
Do
it
we
looks
want
really good.
cake right now?
I know.
I always want cake.
Oh my gosh, no! Literally, I think the most classic ones have to be Matilda cake in the microwave.
Yeah,
burger.
yeah, those
Yeah.
are dope.
That was classic.
So funny.
Yeah.
All right, what? I was just thinking a show that I grew up on
Do you want to move
that
your
I
chair
watched
over here a little more?
religiously every Saturday night
What is it?
with our boy Don Francisco.
Oh yeah.
Sábado Gigante. Oh, I love that show. Did you guys watch it?
I watched a little bit of it.
I don't know.
It was always like on the background, so we never like sat down and watched it because my mom was like, "Oh, those are like for like to waste your time," but we always had it in the background. We watched a lot of Laura.
Oh, I know Laura, but I watched and I would watch it by myself. Like my parents wouldn't watch it. Like I would just turn on Univision on Saturday night, and I'm like, I'm watching Sábado Gigante. Like
it
I have no
Cuban?
idea what that is.
Chileno.
Chileno. That's right. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are classics and like Mujeres Casos de la Vida Real. Do you guys ever watch that? So they were like so they're kind of like Rosa de Guadalupe. Is that the name of the show? La Rosa de Guadalupe?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like that vibe, but like it was women's stories. So like women that were like being domestically abused and like just a bunch of like really tragic, sad, heartbreaking stories that you'd watch. There were like a couple happy ones, but that one was like that was a big show in my house, and that was a very popular show in Mexico.
Dang it.
We also watched Cristina, the judge.
Cristina.
Right?
Yep.
Dang it, I don't know any of these.
What?
It makes me want to go be a child again and watch TV.
But like, so I didn't grow up with Selena Quintanilla. Like I grew up with hearing her music, but I didn't watch her movie until we moved here.
I love her movie.
The J-Lo one?
Yeah, the J-Lo one.
Well, it came out after.
When did it come out?
It was like a few years after she died, I think.
Yeah, it
When
was
did she die?
Well, because she dies in
Like
the movie.
95.
Yeah, I didn't grow up with that though. Like I didn't.
Well, you wouldn't have. You were like 2.
No, I would have been like 4-ish.
You were born in
3.
93.
I didn't even know
2.
who Selena was.
We didn't know. We were babies. Our moms knew her. Because, like, my mom would talk
it wasn't
about
our
Selena.
generation.
Yeah.
Okay, then.
Yeah,
that
but
kinda
I
makes
actually
me
didn't
feel
watch the
better.
movie until, like, of course I knew who she was. I knew her story because my mom would always talk about it.
Oh, okay.
And we would listen to the music. But I didn't watch that movie until college.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I've never heard of Selena growing up in Brazil. Like, I'm sure some people knew her, but she wasn't big there.
Oh, okay.
And I watched the movie because I was a fan of J-Lo. So I was like, oh, this is a J-Lo movie.
Oh, makes me feel a bit
So I
better.
watched it and I learned about Selena. I was like, who's this girl?
Because I was going to ask, what has been a movie that has shown you guys, like, the American dream? Like, what is a movie that you've seen?
Beethoven.
Like, obviously...
You know what I'm talking about?
Beethoven? The
The
dog?
Yes.
I love those movies. I love Beethoven.
I was like, that's an American family with an American dog.
And American values.
Yes, in an American valley. And you know that bucket of meat?
Yes, of course, of course.
Of raw ground beef.
That's funny.
I forgot about
For
those.
me, that's America.
Okay, you know what was like America for me? Like, this is the life I want. This is so stupid.
That's funny.
Mary-Kate and Ashley.
Oh,
All the Mary-Kate
for
and Ashley movies.
sure.
I was so obsessed with them. It was like almost like my mom should have stopped me. Like, my mom was big on taking us to the library every week, and every week I would check out Mary-Kate and Ashley DVDs or VHS. I'd check out Mary-Kate and Ashley books. I would read their chapter books because they were detectives. Do you remember they had the book series where they were detectives and they would solve these mysteries.
I didn't catch that.
Dude, I'm telling you, a problem. Like,
I remember the New York movie.
oh, see, that was like great, but that was like teenager. No,
That
I'm
was
talking
later,
about like,
when they were little.
I'm talking about everything they've ever done. I've seen it.
That's
Every
so
job
funny.
they've ever had from Full House on, I've seen.
See,
And I was in love.
I don't know why I didn't. I mean, I knew who they were, but I didn't. I think I was like Team Lindsay Lohan. at that time.
Oh,
I want to say these girls were younger. They were younger than that.
Yeah, they were.
Like they were before that. I mean, that was like it was.
I was like heartbroken when I found out that Lindsay Lohan didn't have a twin.
I know. That's like a moment every girl goes through her life and realizes the movie was a lie.
There's no way. Like,
and then you spend the rest of your life thinking, how did they film that?
How did they? I still to this day.
Until this day, I think that movie is amazing because of that.
It's one of my favorite movies of all time.
It really is. It's so comforting.
So that one. Well, let's talk about our favorite movies of all time. That one
of all time.
10 Things I Hate About You.
Okay.
With Heath Ledger and Julia Stiles. Is it Julia Stiles?
Yeah.
Julia Stiles. Pride and Prejudice. Okay. The Notebook. I'm obsessed with that movie.
I can't watch that movie again.
I watched it when I was in high school. My first time.
I shattered me.
I cried like a baby.
Me too. Have you seen it?
Oh yeah.
Oh Jesus. It shattered me. Yeah. I never watched it again.
Have you guys?
Really? I watch it all the time.
What about have you seen any like sad like Hispanic movies? Like,
Bajo la misma luna.
I was gonna say that one. I don't remember much of it.
I've seen it with the little boy
under the same.
I can't get over that. And what's crazy is that it's like so unrealistic when you're watching the movie because you're like, there's no way this one little kid did all of that to get to his mom.
America, yeah.
But it's realistic.
No, literally, yeah.
Like there are kids that do that. Yeah. I want everybody that doesn't know anything about like immigration or how people get here to watch that movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
because
that movie's a must.
It's a must. Yeah.
I watched that movie in Spanish class.
I showed it to my students in Spanish class.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
Yeah.
I was gonna say there's another one. Did you guys grow up with Pedro Infante?
My grandpa would watch a lot of his stuff, but
he's a big Mexican actor, and there's one movie called I think Nosotros los Pobres, something like that. I've never seen it. Even my mom's like, it's one of the saddest movies you'll ever see, something like that. And I was like, okay, I won't watch it. But what's it called? The one with Will Smith.
7 Pounds.
No.
Oh, Pursuit of Happiness.
Pursuit of Happiness.
Jeez.
That one, I mean, maybe because I watched it so young, I was like, oh my gosh, there's no way people go through that. But that one stuck with me. And that one's it really is good. Kind of shows me, like, what someone can do in this country. In a way, it shows you, like, the path of American dream. And obviously didn't come from, like, an immigrant, right? Starting from scratch. But it was, like, a man that just went through really hard things in his life. And he just, like, moved up. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's a very powerful movie, but it's still one of them that just...
It's one of those movies, I read this list on BuzzFeed that was like 20 movies that you have seen only one time.
Oh, yeah.
And that was on there. And I was like, yep, I saw it one time.
It's because it's so
and I was
heavy.
like, I cannot... if I ever am like scrolling through like Netflix and it comes up, I'll never watch it.
Yeah.
I've seen it.
Yep.
One and done. It's like, I felt it.
Nobody wants to go through that again.
Right.
No one's like,
you feel everything.
Watch Pursuit of Happiness.
Well, no one says what movie I watched.
Guys, let's watch The Pursuit of Happiness.
No. It's like the saddest thing. 13 going on 30.
Interesting. Wait, it's one of those movies you can't see again?
No, that I have watched 30 times.
Okay.
I just like, it's such a make me feel good movie. Like, I don't know. It's just, I love the
I've seen it in like the last 10 years.
Oh my gosh, I love that movie.
I saw it and I wasn't crazy about it. So I just never watched it again. Yeah. I don't know.
That's like one of my favorite movies. I watched that movie. I love that movie.
Right now,
I'm tired.
Me and Cody, I told Cody, I'm like, I want to watch like classic 80s movies, just like 80s, early 90s. And we started watching E.T. I've seen E.T., but I was like, all right, let's just watch
E.T. I know, I should.
It's like, I mean, have you seen Stranger Things? You said no. Mm-mm. Okay.
Similar vibes.
I know. I'm the worst.
E.T. is good.
I'm not a fun friend to have around.
I think it's just those classic, like, American...
Wow, so fun. I think you do funner things.
It's just like one of those like classic American films. It's just a classic.
Yeah,
like,
no,
it's
I have to watch it.
Everything about 80s American culture all in one movie.
Yeah, you have to watch E.T. Stacey.
It's nostalgic. And I think those are the movies that I crave now. Like if I see some weird remake, but it's like set in the 80s, I'll watch it. Like anything that brings back some of that nostalgia.
That feeling, yeah.
Yeah, so obviously I love Stranger Things. I think there was one movie and I was like, oh, they're trying too hard, but I'll watch it. Oh, it was... I don't know the name of it. It's a new one on Netflix. And I'm like, oh, they did a really good job on it. But that's kind of my vibe right now. Like, you tell me, like, and I'll watch Marvel movies. That's it. But anything outside of that, I don't care. We're not.
Have you guys seen the original Romeo and Juliet movie?
Like the
read the Shakespeare play,
like the original, the oldest movie.
I don't think I've ever seen a Romeo and Juliet movie.
Really?
Have you seen the Leonardo DiCaprio version?
Mm-mm.
Oh, that one's really cool.
I just remember being so little and that was on TV, and my dad's like, he gathered all 4 of us, all the kids, and he's like, you guys have to watch this movie. It's a classical. So literally, there am I, like literally being 10 years old watching Romeo and Juliet, the most dark movie, and I'm just like, why?
And it's like old English,
so I didn't understand shit. I was just sitting there and I watched the thing, and I was like, okay.
That's how I felt with the Schindler's List. I'm so young.
I want to watch that movie.
I want to watch it now that I think I would understand. But when I was younger, I was like, why is this movie in black and white?
It's really cool to watch movies with the brain developed,
right?
Because it's like, oh, like,
and that happens where I'll watch something now that I watched when I was little, and I was like, oh, I did not understand.
Yeah,
because I was saying that happened with Shrek. Like I watched it a bunch when I was little, and then I watched it again like literally last year when Baby Leo was like obsessed with it. And I was like watching it, I was like, oh, I didn't get that. Or I saw like so much more depth to it. And I was like, oh, like Shrek is actually like a struggling dude that doesn't feel love from the world and just wants to isolate himself because he feels like everybody hates him even though he has a good heart.
Right.
Did I think that when I was 11?
Yeah.
No.
Dude, when I heard Shrek in English for the first time, it was the Mike Myers voice for Shrek. I was like, ew. That is disgusting because I grew up with Shrek in Spanish, and I still think it's the best way to watch it. But when I heard,
a lot of people say that.
Oh,
I think it's great in both.
I haven't seen it in Spanish.
And some jokes you can't translate English or in Spanish.
Yeah, well, I think that's the beauty of it. They translated them perfectly. Like for example, like Donkey's like, and in the morning I'm making waffles. Yeah. And then in Spanish it's like, y en la mañana hago los tamales. Yeah. So it's like.
Very cultural.
Waffles are not tamales, but it's like
they were really detailed about it. I love that.
There's like a cool story behind that because Derbez was like, he was told to stay to the script, something like that, and he was the one that's like, no, we can't, like, it just doesn't translate, it's not the same vibe. And so he did Shrek 2 when Donkey, Shrek, and Fiona were riding up to the castle to meet her parents, and the song that Donkey sings at that time, Mesa que más aplaudo. At that time, it was crazy. At that time, that song was like everywhere. So not only it was already popular.
When did he sing in English?
I have no idea, no clue, but I know for sure. And that was like it was all over the news. It was like everywhere in Mexico, like that. Part of our culture was in an American movie. So cool. And it was all because
that is awesome. See, I did not know that.
Yeah. Super cool.
I love that.
So that's Derbez's classic.
Speaking of Derbez, did you watch the movie? In English it's instructions not included. In Spanish it's
I did not watch that.
I don't know what's in Spanish.
That one's an immigrant movie too.
Oh yeah.
Because he comes so the gist of it is he like he lives in like Acapulco or somewhere like very touristy
or Cancun
or something like that, and this like white girl and him like hook up. She gets pregnant and then she leaves. Yeah, gives him the baby, and then he like comes to the United States like without papers and stuff, and then the only thing he does here is he's a stunt double, and so he's always getting beaten up. That movie,
so amazing.
Jeez, I love movies.
I don't think I want to watch it again. It's almost like one of those that's really sad, but still good enough to watch again. Like I'll give it another
But it's kind of tough. Like I've seen it once and I felt all those feels, and the feels are so much that I'm like, I don't know if I can put myself through it again.
Yeah, there's just some movies, and I swear there's some.
That's the beauty of movies, like how much they can make you feel. It's like, yeah, some movies are funny and like whatever, but there are movies that tell a story that you're like, damn.
Because you get to like experience a feeling that
of somebody else
in a way that you would never empathize so much in real life because you don't know that many people, and not that many people are vulnerable with you to share their real life stories. So it's like cool to see it in a movie and make humans feel a certain way. I feel like it makes us all more. It makes us better people in a way.
Yeah, I agree.
Have you guys seen Hidden Figures?
Yeah, I love.
Amazing movie. And then there's that other one, The Help.
I love The Help.
That one is probably one of my top favorites.
It's so good. They give him...
The Help. My dad's like, I can't watch those movies because I'll just get mad at white people. I'm just like,
but that movie makes me feel good about white people because I'm like, there are the Emma Stones.
Oh yeah,
there, you know? There are the 100%. People that...
the help with... Emma Stone and...
The Beehive.
Skeeter.
Yeah.
Skeeter. Okay, I did watch that.
I really like the African American stories.
Me too.
I've never seen The Color Purple, but it's a big musical, and John Williams, I want to say, composed the music. And it's just like a classic. I think Oprah, that was the first movie that Oprah was in. It's like when Oprah was younger, and that was like a classic staple of like must-watch movies. So I've been wanting to watch that. But any movie that has to do with slavery, even though it's a very hard topic, I love those movies. A lot of them have an amazing story.
Like Django.
Yes.
I love Django.
Django's freaking bomb.
I love that movie.
Yeah, it's so good.
It is good.
I guess just to finish off, who's like your guys' like, I don't want to say American, but who was like your actor crush growing up?
Actor crush, freaking Peter Pan.
Which one? The
blonde one? Yeah.
We watched that 2 nights ago. I was like, Cody.
Because it just came out on,
I was like, Cody, I had a huge crush on this guy. Peter Pan from like 2000.
Stacy.
We'll show it.
Because I didn't watch the kid movies.
You know who I remember?
I didn't have a childhood. I was trying so hard to be a teenager.
Yeah, honestly.
But who's like your crush?
Channing Tatum.
Oh, Channing Tatum.
From Step Up, and she's the man.
Peter Pan. I guess, Peter,
I know he's a child, so it's awful to think of it that way.
But he was like,
when you're a child, he's cute.
I liked
when I was a child, oh, sorry to interrupt you.
Oh, no, you're fine.
Benny the Jet Rodriguez from The Sandlot. When I was a kid, I was in love with him.
I didn't grow up with The Sandlot. I don't know.
See, I love sports movies.
I love sports movies.
My dad would like We Are Marshall, Coach Carter.
Oh, I mean, to be honest, the love of my life was Zac Efron.
I was actually going to say that when we were talking about Disney Channel original movies.
Oh, exactly.
I remember being on Disney Channel and they played the preview for High School Musical, but they hadn't even made any of the like video parts. They just played the sound. Okay. They're like, this movie's coming out, and then they played like him like, we're sorry. So like you can see it. It was like a fuzzy screen.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I remember watching that before
it came out.
It's just crazy how
High School Musical took over my life.
I was a part of High School Musical from even before. And then, High School Musical
took over my entire life.
I think I said this, but I literally went to the High School Musical 3 noon premiere at the movie theaters.
You did tell us.
Like, I went at noon. It was like 11:50, and me and my friend are like, all right, we're going to go watch it at noon.
That time of my life was the most unproblematic. Like, High School Musical time.
Dude, High School Musical 1 goes so hard.
Well, how people talk about Grease is how we will talk about High School Musical. Someone compared, like, the popularity of Grease to the High School Musical. Like, that's our Grease.
I think that's
High School Musical is probably even bigger because they actually went on tour. They performed all over the country. They went on tour to Brazil. My cousin went to their concert. It was huge.
Like Zac Efron was there?
Yeah, the whole thing. They went on tour.
That's crazy. Gosh. Isn't it crazy that like probably more than half of the girls in the world at that time had a crush on Zac Efron?
Yeah, he's the most wanted guy.
Anyone I talk to, for sure. But at that time, every girl our age, most likely.
And then when he came out with 17 again, do you remember that? The white T-shirt, leather jacket, sunglasses. He comes out of the car. I'm like,
it was his first movie after Disney where he could be like the sexy guy we want him to be.
It's so funny. He's Chandler.
He's Chandler?
He's like, so Chandler's the old version of him.
Oh, yeah.
It's so weird to think about it like that.
Yeah.
I'm like,
what?
Chandler from Friends, Matthew Perry, is the older version of him. So you know how he goes back to being 17? Zac Efron is Chandler.
Yes, in the movie 17.
Yeah.
Okay, I was like, wait, what?
See, I really liked. Well,
who's your crush?
I had a weird, obviously, crush on Harry Potter. Like he was just
she liked Daniel Radcliffe.
Thing ever to me. But it's a weird crush.
Weird over there.
But I will say,
Harry Potter.
I will redeem myself with, and I don't think you guys know what this guy looks like, but the oldest brother from Narnia. The Chronicles of Narnia, the oldest brother, his name was William Moseley, or is William Moseley. I was in love with him.
Oh my god.
Loved him. I
want to see a picture.
I'm looking.
He was a handsome little dude when we were little.
But nothing will ever top Justin Bieber for me, even though that happened.
I never thought Justin Bieber was cute. I still.
I will listen to his songs and cry because I thought he wrote them for me.
No.
I was literally delusional, sick in the head for him. Yeah, no.
What?
So you have a type?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have a type. He looks like your type.
Yeah.
See, I think my first brown crush.
Your first brown crush was Chris Brown.
No.
Oh, guys, I went to Lovers and Friends last week, and I know he's problematic. I know this, but I love him. I love him.
I really don't care for him, but he's a good performer.
I'll
give him that.
One of the best performers. Some people were you saying that they were like saying he's like this generation's Michael Jackson in terms of stage presence? Who was saying that?
I don't know.
But
I can see that.
Right, like the dancing, the
for sure
persona, the vibes he gives.
Like if he put on a Super Bowl show, I'd watch it.
Yeah, everyone would.
Oh my gosh, that'd be dope.
That actually
Rihanna 1 year, Chris Brown the next.
They can be the next. That's doing too much.
We need to take a gap year.
Yeah, we need to take a gap year for sure.
All right, let's not end it on Chris Brown. All right, let's recommend one movie to whoever is listening that they have to watch it if they haven't seen it. It could be any genre. It could be any time. Just a movie that you're like, the world has to see this movie.
Oh my gosh. Huh.
That's such a hard question.
I have two.
I'm bad with movies.
I don't even know. For educational purposes, watch Taken. Don't ever go to a country by yourself.
Well, I did.
Literally,
you know how many times people were like, have you seen Taken? Yes, and I'm going anyway because I'm not as dumb as her.
I just can't think of any movie right now. That's just the first one that popped in my head. I guess, kind of what we were saying last time, if anyone wants to know about the immigrant experience, a little bit of it, watch Under the Same Moon, Bajo la Misma Luna with Eugenio Derbez. It's just one that watch it and cry and then don't ever watch it again.
There's two movies that come to mind when I ask you guys that question. One is called A Good Lie with Reese Witherspoon, and it's about these refugees that come to America, and she's just helping them like get jobs and like find a place to live and stuff like that. What these refugees go through, and like you see it from like what they went through in their country and what they go through here. No movie has made me cry as much as that one. So I recommend that. I've
never heard of it.
I know, it's for being Reese Witherspoon, it wasn't super popular, but Michelle and I watched it in college. It's funny, we watched it at the BYU library, and we sat in this little room, and at the end,
I know those little rooms.
I look over at her, and both of us are like sobs. So I recommend that one. And then probably one of the best movies I've ever seen in my entire life is with Rachel McAdams, About Time.
Ugh.
It is so good. Like, the movie itself is entertaining, and it's cute, and it's funny.
It has a wonderful message.
But the message, I'm like, that's how I want to live my life, you know?
Like, how else could you have talked about time?
Right.
In such a fun, heartbreaking,
the way they're like sex scene when they first like sleep together.
It's the best sex scene ever.
So cute. Like
so good.
It's it's wholesome.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Yeah, so About Time. Those are my two recs.
I want to say I watched that before I left on the mission. Like right before, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm leaving my family and I'm not gonna be with them. Yeah. I was like, I love that movie.
I watched that movie. My friend told me to watch it. I watched it and I was like, this is so good. Oh my gosh. My sister comes in. She's like, what are you watching? And I'm like, this movie, watch it with me. I watched it again, like back to back with her. And then that night, my mom was like, what movie were you guys watching? And I was like, let's watch it again. I watched it 3 times in one day.
It's just one of those movies that
that's good.
So fun.
You convinced me. I'm going to have to watch it. For me, my recommendation would be The Boy in the Striped Pajamas.
I'll never watch it.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
It's the type of movie you only watch it once.
No. That one and The Rabbit movie. Okay.
Oh, yes, the one Taika Waititi is Hitler. Jojo Rabbit.
I
haven't seen that one.
That one is
it's good.
It's
one.
like The Boy in the Striped Pajamas, but a little bit more lighthearted. But the message comes across just as clear.
And this has its dark moments.
It does, very much. Oh.
But it's like...
There's one scene that's like engraved in my brain that I want to throw up every time I think about it.
Oh, I don't remember. But it's basically a little boy...
In Nazi Germany.
In Nazi Germany. And his imaginary friend is Hitler.
And he's like a devout Nazi.
Yeah.
Like the kid. He's like...
But since he's a kid, he's so innocent, he doesn't really know what he's thinking.
And his chubby best friend.
Oh, I love
Wait,
him.
what's it called?
Jojo Rabbit.
It's
on Amazon Prime.
I wish I had all time in the world to just watch all these incredible movies.
There's so many great movies out there, and I am grateful. I did grow up with a lot of American movies, so I want to say.
But so does the whole world.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
But that's just my childhood, you know. E.T.
Well, the best movies are from here. I'm excited to watch Barbie. To see what kind of vibe we get from it. Because I've seen some TikToks. I know we have to stop, but hold on. I've seen some TikToks where people were like, the trailer is tricking you into thinking
about It's a certain way,
but it's actually a really dark movie.
Is the trailer out?
The trailer's out.
I haven't even seen it. I just know that it's Margot Robbie and Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, so
not
the trailer...
Ryan Gosling.
The trailer really makes you feel like you're watching Barbie's life, how you would imagine it as a kid, what her life is like. But people were saying it's a tricky trailer and the movie's going to be dark.
I'm excited. to see it.
So we'll see. I don't really know.
Well,
all right, friends.
Episode, so have fun while listening to this one.
Yeah, if you have nothing to do, this is a good thing to do.
And then after you watch this episode, go watch all the movies we talked about.
Yeah. And let us know if you liked it.
All right, thanks for tuning in. See you next week. Love you. Bye.
Bye.